Hello everybody, Fenrir776 here, New Heroes banner. Oh, that music sounds promising. That music sounds promising. Hello, Diamant. It's finally here, my friends. Engage banner. A real Engage banner, hopefully, unlike previous Engage banner that wasn't really an Engage banner at all. Already I'm seeing something very funny looking as well, because Diamant has been given a long-ass weapon, and I think it's the return of the second page. So, yeah, Engage. Yeah. Diamant say sword infantry, I'm pretty sure. Is armed with the Fair Fight Blade. Accelerate special trigger cooldown count -1. Start of combat for units HP is greater than or equal to 25%. Grants attack speed defense res +5 to unit. Deals damage equal to 25% of unit's defense. And reduces damage from foes' attacks by 25% of unit's defense, excluding area of effect specials. Neutralizes reduced damage by X% effects from units and foes' non-special skills, excluding area of effect specials. Neutralizes effects that guarantee units and foes follow-up attacks, and increases the speed difference necessary for unit or foe to make a follow-up attack by 20 during combat. Speed must be greater than or equal to 25 to make a follow-up attack. Stacks with similar skills. What similar skills? This is the first one. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25% and unit initiates combat, grants special cooldown count -1 to unit before unit's first attack during combat. Utilizes effects that inflict special cooldown charge -X on a unit during combat. And also, if a unit deals damage to a foe using a special during combat, restores 10 HP to unit. Triggers even if 0 damage is dealt. That's not lying, that's a long ass weapon, and there are some very interesting effects on that one. From the top, slaying, of course, +5 for all stats, naturally. Defense based, true damage, and flat damage reduction. Hey, both of those things are very, very good. Especially flat DR, especially at 25%. That's a very good number for flat DR. A lot of flat DR effects we've had before are lower. That being said, normally I say flat DR gets really strong when you're able to stack it with percentile DR. We don't have any percentile DR. In fact, not only do we not have any percentile DR here, the opponent doesn't get any percentile DR either. We are completely neutralizing their non-special percentile DR skills. This has been on sword units before, but it's still a pretty fresh effect to see. I mean, the really fresh effect is that we're neutralizing our own percentile DR as well, I guess because it is the Fair Fight Blade. Else neutralizes effects that guarantee units and foes follow-up attacks, so kind of a null follow-up, but not really. It's a half null follow-up, but it's not an offensive or defense null follow-up. It's a null guaranteed follow-up for everyone, and increases the speed difference necessary for unit or foe to make a follow-up attack by 20 during combat. So if I'm reading this right, you gotta be 25 speed faster in order to double instead of 5 speed faster. So we'll see what his speed stat actually is, because this could be very funny. And then, if he initiates combat and has greater than or equal to 25% HP, you also get a pulse down before first attack. But if foe initiates combat and you're greater than or equal to 25% HP, you get a tempo effect, a half tempo. You're neutralizing your own special charge, and a 10 hit point heal when you whack him with your special. So all in all, that's a lot. This seems like a unit we're gonna have to try out before we know how good they are necessarily. Because there's a lot going on here, to be frank. 1, flat damage reduction. Kind of a very tanky unit. Based on the whole defense-based thing, I'm guessing this is going to be Diamant running around with a massive defense stat. And he can cut through percentile damage reduction. On the other hand, what he cannot do, probably, is double, unless he's massively outspeeding people. He also can't benefit from percentile DR of his own, so he's kind of a really tanky big special unit, but not really. Like, he's got healing built in, he's got true damage built in, he's got special acceleration built in, but the lack of percentile DR also kind of compromises his own tankiness. So basically it boils down to, can he actually kill things or not? We'll see. I mean, special slowly has Bonfire, so that's going down to 2 cooldown. Okay, his A slot, attack defense finish 4, which apparently is not a defense finish skill we've had before. So new finish skill for all the finish skill enjoyers. Again, since he seems very much to be special based, this is a good pick, probably. The finish skills, 1 +7 to 2 stats, already great on a very easy condition, a free space condition. 2, extra damage dealt once special is triggered, and it looks like he wants to trigger that special, he's built around that special. 3, extra healing once special is triggered, and he already has healing in his kit. This is even more healing, so we're saying let's heal this guy back up, basically. Come on, show us that second page, will ya? There it is, I freaking knew it would be there. In for B slot, attack speed bulwark 3. Okay, so I'm seeing maybe he's an attack speed defense unit, and probably with res as the dead stat then. Makes sense, honestly, makes sense. The bulwark skills are probably the best bet for the B slot, considering that he already has the tempo built in and he can't benefit from green skills in the same way as other god swords can. They give you the extra healing, which again is going to be great because it seems like, yeah, he wants to be tanky, he wants to heal up. And they give you that obstruct effect, which a lot of people underestimate, but honestly it is very handy, being able to stop enemy units from going around hitting any supports you have parked behind him. In the C slot, we're looking at times pulse 4, which I think is the missing piece of the puzzle here, because all with that 2 cooldown bonfire, he seems to be relying on 1 extra cooldown reduction from his weapon, which still leaves 1 cooldown left. Here it is, the 1 cooldown left is coming from times pulse 4. We've already seen this on most god swords recently, but if you're trying to get specials up, it is the same as times pulse 3, except with a mini spiral built in. Isn't that great? So yeah, all in all, very, very interesting unit. We're going to see how he plays out. We're going to have to do that, I think, because I, off the top of my head, just can't predict how battles with him are going to finish. I don't know if he has the kill power necessary. I don't know if he has the survivability necessary. Again, I've told you before, we're in the freaking morning. Speaking is pain, but we're getting there. So yeah, very, very cool Diamant. Combat here against a blue dragon. Again, I don't know how tanky these blue dragons are, but
no less than victory.
13 flat damage reduction there, and dealing a lot of damage on the swing back. Next is Citrinne. What are you, Citrinne? You are an infantry green tome. Yes. And your weapon is the Tome of Luxuries. Accelerate special trigger, cooldown count -1 at the start of turn 1. Grants special cooldown count -2 to unit. At the start of turn, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants if unit initiates combat, unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack to unit for 1 turn. After start of turn skills trigger, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants any bonus effects active on unit, including stat bonuses, excluding unit can move 1 extra space and Pathfinder, to allies within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. Oh, I like that. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants attack speed, defense, res +5 to unit during combat, and deals damage equal to 15% of unit's res, including when dealing damage with a special trigger before combat. Okay, so a little less wordy than whatever Diamant had going on, but still, I think, an incredibly powerful, unique effect here. Slaying is pretty normal. At the start of turn 1, grants special cooldown count -2 to unit. That is strong because it lets you run around with your special pre-charged immediately. Okay, immediate pre-charge special, and again, you've seen what we can get up to with pre-charge specials on my defense replays, probably. So, yeah, that's big. That's big indeed. Start of turn, if you don't pay greater than 25%, grants the guarantee 4 attack status. But then, after start of turn skills trigger, you get to spread that bonus around, and any other bonuses, in fact, including stat bonuses, to all your allies within 2 spaces. So there's potentially some very good combos here. I'm thinking, one, you can probably do something with, what's it called? Infantry speed tactic is one example. Have Citrinne as one of the 2 infantry units on your team, but then infantry speed tactic is giving her NFU, and she is then giving NFU to everybody. Or, similarly, you could do something with any of the Ellywoods that do the shtick of picking 1 unit to give a whole bunch of buffs to. If that 1 unit is Citrinne, it's not just 1 unit you're giving that whole bunch of buffs to, it is your whole dang team. And there's similar things. I mean, I think this is a lot more powerful maybe on offense, because there are units on offense who can take advantage of support partners for this. Obviously, support partners aren't allowed on defense, but on offense, there are units who, again, grant a very strong status, but just to their support partner. Well, what if said support partner goes around and spreads that to every freaking body? The other thing I really like here is evidence that Fire Emblem Heroes devs are actually vaguely sensible, because they have decided to exclude 2 key mobility effects from this tome. One of those mobility effects is moving an extra space, the other is Pathfinder. They have decided maybe it would be a bit silly if your entire team was walking around with an extra space of movement and Pathfinder at the same time. And they're absolutely right. That would be way too silly. Aside from that, +5 to all stats during combat is normal, and dealt damage based on extra res also normal. But good. It is good. What else do we have here? Special Iceberg makes sense because in the B slot we have Special Spiral 4, notably Citrinne coming without an A slot, so you'll have to inherit something there. Deals +5 damage when special triggers, and as you are all aware, the big thing of Spiral 4 is it shreds damage reduction effects, percentile damage reduction effects from non-special skills. That's huge. Again, this is a skill you will have seen the power of on my defense replays. Very good to have another source of it in game. Very good indeed. And in the C slot, attack res oath 4. Start of turn, if units within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack res +6. Add the following stats to unit for 1 turn. Unit can move adjacent to any ally within 2 spaces. Now, we all know what attack res oath 4 does. I'm just reminding you because that is yet another unit who is spreading the ground orders status, or well, just orders, I guess, status to all their allies within 2 spaces. Kind of a mini Catria here, except without the whole triangle attack thing going on. Although if you can find a way to give Citrinne triangle attack or dual strike or anything else, she is going to be able to repeat that, I guess. Well, very, very cool unit, and I'm excited to see what possibilities here are. Has some potentially for defense as well. If, and this is a pretty big if, nobody's jumping in with Elamine to do nonsense, because okay, on the one hand, this is an effect that triggers after start of turn effects trigger, so it might not be a start of turn effect. It might not be full startable, maybe. On the other hand, she still needs start of turn effect to trigger to give her those bonuses. So if Elamine goes in there and fiddles with those, well, she can't spread them around if she doesn't have them, right? Still, I am 2 out of 2 for who boy I love these units so far. Let's keep rolling, shall we? See her tone animation. What does a luxury look like? It looks like green. A new Rearmed hero. We're only on the 3rd character. I'm guessing no 4-star demo then? It is Alcryst.
You don't have to say it. I'm a waste. Just throw me in the trash where I belong. I'm
not throwing you in the trash because you're an Arcane unit. You don't even go in the trash if I inherit skills from you. You survive to be your own dang thing. A second Arcane bow. Interesting that we're getting duplicates of Arcane weapons so much when certain weapon categories still don't have them. Looking at you, Tomes. Begin with the Arcane Dark Bow. Accelerate special trigger, cooling count -1. Effective against flying foes, it is a bow. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants attack speed +6 to unit, neutralizes the unit's penalties, and neutralizes effects that prevent the unit's follow-up attacks during combat. And also, if unit it's 4 AM initiates combat, unit can make a follow-up attack before foe can counterattack. Okay, so going down the list, neutralizing units' penalties is I mean, it's good in the sense of you don't want penalties on your unit. It's bad in the sense of the modern meta. It's very much a unity stacking meta, so can't benefit from that with this. But hey, that doesn't matter. Make your own dang meta. Of course, it has slaying. It's an arcane weapon. They all do that. And grants attack speed +6. Well, it's not a +5 to all stats. They've changed it up a little. But it makes sense given those are the only 2 stats that you're going to need. Why? Because you're making a guaranteed follow-up, and you've got automatic desperation. No HP condition, it's just desperation. You go get it. Beautiful. So, what are we doing with this information? Well, Deadeye, it looks like. In the A slot, a new A slot, Flash Sparrow. If you initiate combat, grants attack speed +7 unit during combat, and also if unit speed is greater than or equal to foe speed -5, grants special cooldown charge +1 to unit per attack during combat. This is, it would appear, a combination of Flashing Blade, Swift Sparrow, glue them together. What do you get? Flash Sparrow. Attack speed +7 is pretty normal for an A slot skill. That's good. If unit speed is greater than or equal to foe speed -5, there is a lot of leeway on that speed condition. Flash Sparrow seems pretty solid. At the very least, it seems a lot more widely applicable than Flashing Blade 4, which is a skill that's been having kind of a tough time recently. Very good, and honestly very good as well, because this means finally we've got another source of special acceleration in the A slot, and it's a source that's pretty easy to access too, being on a rearmed unit and all. The B slot, get behind me! Exclamation mark. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, inflicts speed defense -5 on foe, inflicts penalty on foe's defense equal to 30% of foe's defense at start of combat, and neutralizes effects that inflict special cooldown charge -X on unit during combat. Do you get the reference? That's right, my friends. Alcryst's personal skill, Luna, is going off on basically every hit for him, or well, more or less, because Luna's actually 50%. This is more Moonbow territory, but every hit, that's good. And the built-in tempo as well, so the plan comes together. You get your special acceleration from Flash Sparrow, you get your slaying effect, you get your offensive half tempo, the half that really matters, you get your desperation, you hit from once, you charge 2 at once, and then on your second hit, well, would you look at that, it is Deadeye. And it's Deadeye with 30% of foe's defense gone. So, hopefully, it's a big ass Deadeye and it kills them. Reasonable strategy. And in the C slot, defense res spoke 3. After combat, links defense res -7 on target foes within 2 spaces of target through their next actions, and grants attack +6 to unit allies within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn, and grants Pathfinder to unit for 1 turn. It's a very good smoke skill, primarily for the fact that it grants Pathfinder in modern day and age, because debuffs like that you can find almost anywhere, but Pathfinder's really good. Another thing I really like about Rearmed Alcryst here, very fodderable. Defense res smoke 3, Deadeye, both skills you can get with just one of your inheritance slots. I don't know what leads up to Flash Sparrow, but it's probably going to be pretty easy to get that in just one slot as well. So you could potentially steal pretty much his entire kit if you want to, which is always a good thing for a rearmed unit, because it feels a bit silly when you've got this entire rearmed unit and you're inheriting all their stuff for just one skill. Well, let's keep going, shall we?
I hope this is enough.
Deadeye kicks in. Oh, 202. Admittedly, that is with effective damage. And hello, you're not an engaged. You were in the Tempest Trials just now. You're on a banner already.
Like
8.
a half-remembered dream.
Also, that's going to confuse people to no end, having a character whose name is one letter different from Eitr, who is nothing like Eitr. Blue Cavalry Beast, FEH, Arcane Nihility. Blue Cavalry Beast. Arcane. Not Tome. Arcane Beast Weapon. Is this real? Are we doing this? Because beasts have not had inheritables, really, forever, more or less. So, potentially, our first arcane beast weapon. I say potentially, it's right in front of us. We'll see if this is inheritable, but it might just be. Accelerate special cooldown penalty -1 at start of combat. If unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, that's attack speed and defense res +5 and attack speed defense res +X to unit. Inflicts attack speed defense res -X on foe. X is current bonus on each of foe's stats. Calculates each stat bonus and penalty independently and deals damage equal to 15% of unit speed during combat, including when dealing damage with a special triggered before combat. Also, if unit speed is greater than foe speed, neutralizes effects that guarantee foes follow-up attacks and effects that prevent units follow-up attacks during combat. At the start of turn, if unit is adjacent to only beast or dragon allies or is not adjacent to any ally, unit transforms. Unit transforms, grants attack +2 to unit otherwise, and inflicts attack defense -X on foe during combat, where X is number of spaces from start position to end position of whoever initiated combat +3, max 6. Also, if X is greater than or equal to 5, reduces damage from foe's first attack by 30% during combat. Woo! Okay, so if this is an arcane beast weapon, which I think it is, this is pretty chunky indeed. Let's go from the top. Slaying, of course, +5 to all stats. Brilliant. Stealing foes' buffs, basically. We've seen this on a lot of beasts already. Why not bring it back for even more? But it's been a good bonus every single time, and it will probably continue to be a good bonus because, hey, foes love walking around with stat buffs. Why not take them? A lot of skills out there just happen to give you a stat buff in addition to whatever you were really looking for. So yeah, get steely. Deals damage equal to 15% of unit speed, so a nice little flat damage buff as well. And not follow-up, so long as you're faster than the opponent. All of those are very good. They're kind of turning you into a mini Freya, pretty much, I think. Aside from that, we have a new transformation effect, I'm pretty sure. If you're adjacent to only beast or dragon allies or solo, we've seen that part before, you're getting attack +2, but you're also getting, basically, attack defense attack defense clash. That's for one, not catch. They're almost the same word. Attack defense clash, kind of a mini one, and on top of that, a little bit of extra survivability, reducing damage from foe's first attack by 30%. This is pretty good. The old cavalry beast condition was, I mean, it was still pretty good, but this is better, I think. I'm pretty sure this is better. So, well, hey, great times were had by all. Let's keep going. Luna in the special. In the A slot, we have the power of Melty. If number of allies adjacent to unit is less than or equal to 1, so if it's 1 or 0, grants attack speed defense res +9 to unit, and grants special cooldown charge +1 to unit per attack during combat. Only highest value applied, does not stack. And also, if unit deals damage to foe using a special during combat, restores X% of unit's max HP to unit, where X is equal to unit's max special cooldown count value times 20 plus 10, max 100, tricks even if 0 damage is dealt. So with her slaying in her weapon, that is going to be, well, if you're using her base special, it's going to be 2 cooldown Luna, times 20 plus 10, 50% actually, which is pretty good. She's Brave Clauding out here, honestly. And, well, Brave Claude kind of fell off for a little while, but recently, if you've been watching my defense replays, you will know how strong Brave Claude can be if he really wants to be, if he's properly built. So, yeah, let her Brave Claude. The B slot, we have Beast Sense 4. A new Tier 4 Beast skill. Removes the condition to transform. Inflicts speed defense -4 on foe during combat. If skill compares unit speed to a foe's or ally's speed, treats unit speed as if granted +7. If unit speed is greater than foe's speed, reduces damage from attacks during combat and from area of effect specials, excluding Roku area of effect specials, by X%, where X is the difference between speed stats times 4, max 40. My friends, is a tier 4 green skill in disguise as a beast skill. So I'm guessing Eitr are going to be very fast. And what suits a unit who's very fast and has a load of healing better than a whole bunch of damage reduction to go on top of it? Makes sense, right? You hit them, you survive whatever you're getting hit by, you take reduced damage from 30% from your weapon and also 40% potentially from your B slot. So that's pretty good reduction right there. And after all that is said and done, you heal it back up. You heal it back up. I think that's pretty solid. And last but not least, in the C slot, we have Alarm Attack Speed. Start of turn, if number of allies adjacent to unit is less than or equal to 2, grants attack speed +6 and Canto 1 to unit 1. We've seen this already. But it's still a very good skill. Having Canto 1, especially considering you probably are running Beast Sense 4 in the B slot, having Canto 1, very good. Unlike Alcryst, we do have potentially kind of awkwardness here, depending on what Beast Sense is the tier 4 of. Like, if it's its own thing, then we might have issues, because if you're inheriting onto an old beast, you probably kind of want the weapon and Beast Sense. But you might have a little bit of a tough time getting both if you're using all 4 of your inheritance slots on Beast Sense already. That being said, this is still very good, and Beast Sense is probably going to change the game for a lot of beasts out there, so I'm very excited to see what people make of that. Let's keep going, shall we? Ready for the whole banner, but we've still got 3 units to take a look at.
Forgive me for this.
As you can see, yeah, there she is healing back up 20 hit points. That's a lot. Diamant, Citrinne, Alcryst, Gulveig. Do we see a free unit? That is an Alear. Oh, hell yeah. No 4-star unit on the banner this time either, but we are
I'll cut you down to size.
getting Lapis. Okay, and they're giving us 2 sparks. They are giving us 2 sparks. Okay. Previously we've suspected that they don't know what they're doing with the heroes not with the heroes banner, with the Engage banner, but I suspect they knew what they were doing the whole time. They want people to spend an awful lot of money on this banner, and I'm going to be honest, I think people are going to spend an awful lot of money on this banner. I think people, I mean, look at it, right? It's the Engage units you've all been waiting for. It's coming right after summer, which is one of the highest spending periods of the year already, so you're probably right out of orbs. It's the units you love. They're all very powerful. That is very cool. So, oh, actually, I'm getting a ping here telling me something very exciting. Let's go take a look at that, shall we? That's right. It's another trailer. Fire Emblem Engage. So, our free Alear I wonder if he's not the THB then. I wonder... This is in Japanese. Hold on a freaking second. Okay, take 2 in hopefully the correct language this time. There he is. That's Alear, man version. And we are getting him for free starting July the 18th, which is pretty dang soon. Dragon Youth is his title.
By how many emblems, heroes you have here.
Yeah, he is a sword infantry just like Alear, and yeah, he's getting a full gosh dang kit. Sword Liberation, maybe? Sorry, special trigger at -1 at start of turn. If you use HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants charge units support buttons wound free space to unit for 1 turn at start of combat. If you use HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants attack speed defense res +5 to unit during combat, and inflict speed defense -X on foe during combat, where X is the number of allies from distinct titles, wound free space to unit times 4 +4, max 12. And also, if unit speed is greater than foe speed, reduces damage from attacks during combat and from area effect specials, including Rockaware effect specials by percentage equal to difference between stats times 4, max 40%. That is the exact same weapon as the other Alear. So I don't really feel like I need to talk about it a second time. It's still one of the best god swords out there. And you're getting it for free. You're getting it for free. Why is it one of the best god swords out there? I will actually say this. It's because it reduces foes' speed and defense by 12. You're winning speed checks, buddy. You are winning speed checks. Special is Draconic Aura. A slot is attack speed ideal 4. B slot is Repel 4, which is again a tier 4 green skill, so very similar to the other Alear yet again, but a little different because, is it a little different? Actually, I don't remember which tier 4 green skill the other Alear had, but I think it was the hit and run one, whereas this is the shove you away one. So there's our first divergence, and then the second, the big divergence in the C slot, we have Green Feud, which admittedly is a green skill, but not the right sort of green skill. I think female Alear had Speed Smoke 4, which was just the icing on top of the ridiculous amounts of damage reduction cake, because you were getting 40% damage reduction from your weapon, from your B slot, and from your C slot. But Green Feud is Green Feud, and feud effects are strong, but it's no Speed Smoke 4. Still, this is an incredibly good kit to be getting on a free unit, and I know it's an incredibly good kit because I have been using this unit before, except the other version of this unit. Unless they do something horrible to his stats, he is another copy of one of the strongest god swords in the game. Have fun is basically all I'm saying with that. How do you get him? Is he just being given to everyone, or do you have to own Engage?
I am the Divine Dragon!
He's the Divine Dragon. No, it's just everyone. Everyone at all. And also buy Fire Emblem Engage. Beautiful. But if he's being given to free for everyone, then let me just check one last thing. Yeah, okay, he is not a Grand Hero Battle unit. The Grand Hero Battle unit is Zephia. So, all you Zephia fans out there, and I know there's a lot of Zephia fans out there, go wild, go ham. Honestly, I'm looking forward to that as well, because she seems like the sort of person to potentially get an interesting PRF. At least I hope she gets an interesting PRF. Come on, Fire Emblem devs, you know you want to do it. Well, that's been all from me. Some very spicy units this time around. You guys let me know what you think, because this is the banner of all time for the time being. Are you summoning for any of these? I'm gonna have to think long and hard about this one. But yeah, let me know. I've been Penrose776. You know me well. I'll see you all next time. Penrose out.